Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Julian Grace. Well, we have another frigid night ahead of us as we look at our live WRAL weather camera network. You see the temperatures right there, 42 in Fayetteville, 41 in Apex. And guess what? It's only going to get chillier. Meteorologist Kat Campbell joins us in the WRAL Weather Center. And Kat, how long are temps expected to get tonight? Or I should say, how low are they expected to get tonight?
We're going to dip back into the 20s everywhere. The thing about tonight, we've got an increase in cloud cover, and typically that would keep temperatures a little bit more mild. Not the case tonight. It's a frigid one. 27 in Roxborough, 28 Durham, 29 Raleigh, 27 degrees in Goldsboro. No matter where you are, it's going to be a chilly start tomorrow morning, and that doesn't account for the wind chill. The wind will be breezy at times throughout the day tomorrow, so expect the wind chill to be a couple degrees cooler than the actual temperature throughout the day. That means even though our high is 52, it's probably going to feel more like the upper 40s tomorrow afternoon. A lot of people are just getting back into town from their holiday plans. It's important to get the word out now that the bus stop is going to be exceptionally cold this week. Make sure that your kids are really bundled up. We're talking 24 Tuesday, 22 Wednesday morning. Tomorrow's a big travel day, and I'll have a closer look at the statewide and national forecasts coming up.
Thanks, Kat. As those temperatures start to drop below freezing overnight, local white flag shelters will open their doors for anyone who needs a safe place to get warm. Those services will be available until at least Wednesday, December 4th. White flag shelters are open from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. In Raleigh, men can use the emergency shelter at 401 West Cabarrus Street. There's also a women's shelter, a women-only shelter at the First Baptist Church on South Salisbury Street. And families can use the Salvation Army located on Capitol Boulevard. And people with pets or mobility issues are welcome at Harrington Place on South Harrington Street. This evening, we're hearing from the passenger who was in this car that you see behind me that crashed into a tree during a chase with law enforcement. Troopers tell us 16-year-old Cohen Quigley of Clayton died at the scene. The crash happened overnight on Hockaday Road near Four Oaks in Johnston County. Troopers say the incident started with the teen speeding on I-40. WRAL's Carly Haynes joins us live after speaking with the passenger about what she remembers. Carly, how is she doing?
Julian, she's out of the hospital as of this morning. She has several broken fingers, some cuts and scrapes all over her body. She's also grieving the loss of one of her best friends. The troopers say they tried to pull over Quigley while he was going on I-40 East in Johnston County when he didn't stop. And that pursuit eventually led them to Hockaday Road, that's right outside of Four Oaks. And this is the aftermath. The Highway Patrol says the 16-year-old crashed his car into a tree after crossing the center line. They say he wasn't wearing a seatbelt at the time and died at the scene. Another passenger in the car who went to school with Quigley at Cleveland High School in Johnston County recalls being scared and trying to get him to stop, then the crash.
I look over and his whole side is just like
the whole side of the car was gone.
So, and then I look to the front of me and the car's on fire. So I have to I push on the door and it doesn't open because there's like a tree there. So I have to push it like an inch enough and literally go limp and hop out the top of the door.
So frightening, and the passenger says Quigley had gotten a speeding ticket just hours before last night's incident and panicked when he saw law enforcement again. Troopers tell us they are continuing to investigate this. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A Raleigh-based recycling company released a statement after one of its employees hit and killed a 13-year-old while in a company car in Cary. WRAL Recycling said in part, "We extend our deepest condolences to the girl's family and friends. Our thoughts are with them during this unimaginable time of loss." They added that they are fully cooperating with law enforcement and are, quote, conducting an internal review to understand how this terrible accident occurred and how we can ensure such a tragedy never happens again. Police say the 13-year-old was attempting to cross the intersection of High House Road and Cornerstone Drive yesterday. They say 57-year-old Adrian Holt failed to stop. He faces several charges, including misdemeanor death by motor vehicle, failure to yield and reduce speed, and carrying a concealed weapon. One person is dead and 2 people had to be airlifted after a crash this morning. It happened on 15501 south of Aberdeen in Moore County. Our breaking news tracker got this video of the scene near Bernie Hardware. A witness reported seeing a passenger car hitting a commercial truck, sending that commercial truck off the road and into the tree. Investigators say the truck driver died on the scene. The driver and passenger of the other car were taken to the hospital. 15501 was reopened almost 3 hours after the crash. A crash happened about 1,000 feet away from that exact area just days ago. This was the scene on Tuesday. 5 people were hurt in a crash involving 3 cars. One of them had to be airlifted to the hospital. Investigators have not released a cause in either crash. A single car crash in Sampson County this morning killed a 20-year-old woman. It happened around 10:30 this morning on Dave Bright Road near Pine Road, Ridge Road outside of Turkey. Troopers say 21-year-old Kewan Woodard of Goldsboro was driving north on Dave Bright Road when the car went off the road and hit a mailbox and then a ditch. Keely Kalax of Turkey was a passenger in the car and died at the scene. A law amendment goes into effect tomorrow, lowering the age at which teens will be automatically tried as adults for certain crimes. The change to raise the state's raise the age law means 16 and 17-year-olds who commit violent crimes will bypass juvenile court and again automatically be charged as adults. In 2009, when raise the age became law, or in 2019, I should say, when raise the age became law, it was not automatic for 16 and 17-year-olds to be tried as adults. It was up to the district attorney to decide whether the juvenile charged with a violent offense should be transferred to adult court. Again, this change goes into effect tomorrow. A lot of people are heading home from their holiday destinations this weekend. Megan Glova is in the WRAL Live Center with a look at conditions over the airport and the road. Megan.
Yeah, Julian, despite AAA predicting that the busiest travel times would last until 8 tonight, things really aren't looking too bad right now. Let's first see what's going on in the air over at RDU. Seeing 54 delays and only 1 cancellation at the airport right now, so not too shabby. On the roads, let's take a look at the traffic map, seeing a couple of crashes, at least 2 in North Raleigh, but none really indicating any major delays on the highway. Now let's get back over to what AAA is predicting tomorrow. They say the best time to get on the road is before 1 p.m. The busiest times will be somewhere between noon and 6 p.m., so be sure to plan ahead.
Plan ahead. That's very important. Thank you, Megan. Well, millions of Americans are facing dangerously cold temperatures and heavy snow this weekend. All of this winter weather coming on the heels of the Thanksgiving holiday. Some areas of upstate New York could see up to 6 feet of snow by Monday. Parts of Pennsylvania could get up to 4 feet. The storm is causing treacherous conditions on the roads as Americans head home after the holiday.
It's the worst I've ever seen.
Yesterday I shoveled for 4 hours. Wow. And now I've been out here for about an hour.
It's going to be a shock to the system because it's the first major snow of the season.
Oh, did you hear that? He shoveled for 4 hours. Now, officials are warning drivers in areas affected by the winter weather to stay indoors if they don't have to travel. Right now, UNC is playing NC State in what will be the last home football game of Tar Heel coach Mack Brown. The Tar Heels are hosting the Wolfpack at Kenan Stadium in both teams' regular season finales. The Heels are bowl eligible, or already bowl eligible. UNC announced their decision on Tuesday to part ways with the winningest coach in program history.
When he was here to begin with, I was a kid. I got to watch games when he was coaching, and it was fantastic. And then he left, and so we were a little bitter to see him have all that success at Texas. You know, it was hard, but when he came back, it was awesome. I mean, UNC's relevant because of Mack Brown. So, you know, I'm thankful that we got him back, and thankful that we had these years with him.
So many are going to miss the coach. Right now, UNC leads NC State 20-13. Heading into the fourth quarter, WRAL's Pat Welter will have much more about the game live from Kenan Stadium coming up in sports. During the biggest shopping weekend of the year, business owners are urging people to shop small. Just ahead, local retailers share what you can do to support local creators and why it's needed this time of year. Plus, ski season is ramping up in western North Carolina. We share a look at conditions from today. Here's a beautiful shot of North Hills all lit up tonight. I know a lot of people are out there shopping and getting that shopping done early, right? Well, welcome back. Today is Small Business Saturday, and the sunshine and the opportunity to support local businesses is luring plenty of people out to shop. WRAL's Eric Miller checked in with retailers at one local market to see how they're feeling this holiday season and how the holiday shopping is shaping up.
At Hartwell in downtown Raleigh, an annual tradition is warming up, even in the polar weather.
It is our annual Small Business Saturday market and Christmas tree sale.
Owner Caitlin Ward says this is the third year for this market, held at her grandfather's former grocery store, now an event venue.
So we have over 30 local vendors, makers, business owners.
The market delighting visitors both local and from out of town.
I love a local market. I love supporting local artists and businesses. It's been wonderful.
For vendors like Natalie Jones, who creates epoxy bowls, platters, and more, Small Business Saturday is huge.
I think people are looking to support small creators, and so it's a really important part for me in terms of engaging on this day to drive sales, but also meet local people and spend time with other vendors.
According to the Federal Small Business Administration, last year's Small Business Saturday generated $17 billion in sales nationwide. That's big news and big business across the country, including in North Carolina, where small businesses make up 99% of all businesses and employ 1.8 million people, according to the governor's office. People like Jo Noel, who runs her shop out of her Wake Forest home.
So it's all repurposed pieces. I'll rip up like antique French travel bracelets and pair it back with like 18-karat gold-filled necklaces and gemstones.
Noel saying in the age of online retail, it's about standing out and offering something unique this day and every day.
I have made all of this, all one of a kind.
In Raleigh, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
It looks so cool, doesn't it? Well, several Western North Carolina ski resorts have already had their first measurable snowfall of the season. Beach Mountain opened yesterday. Sugar Mountain opened a week ago. Cataloochee Ski Area is already open, or is open for business as well. And this is a look at some of the action at Beach Mountain this evening. We have the list of resort schedules and pricing at WRAL.com. A coat can mean so much: hope, warmth, and kindness. That's why a donation to WRAL Coats for the Children could make all the difference for families in need this winter. We encourage you to donate gently used coats, hats, sweatshirts, or other warm clothing to support families in need. For a list of neighborhood Jiffy Lube drop-off locations or to make an online donation, visit WRAL.com/coats. The information is right there for you. All right, let's bring Kat back into the discussion. Kat, tomorrow a lot of people will be heading home from the Thanksgiving holiday and hitting the road.
You know, it's a busy travel day tomorrow. Luckily, the weather looks pretty good tomorrow all across North Carolina. We do have the potential for some flurries in the North Carolina mountains. It's not looking like a significant event, and that's the case for the Virginia mountains and West Virginia mountains as well. But for the rest of the state, we are dry, a bit more cloud cover, and a couple degrees warmer than today, but not by much, especially because the wind chill will make it feel more like the upper 40s. 52 in Raleigh and Rocky Mount, 55 for Fayetteville and Wilmington, 50 in Greensboro, 53 Charlotte. Check out the mountains. Just 36 in Boone, 48 degrees in Asheville. But if you are driving or flying, the weather all around looks pretty good for tomorrow. We've got dry weather for most of the country, the Dakotas, over into portions of the Midwest, and the mountains could see some snow. But overall, it's a pretty good map if you are traveling tomorrow. This is what you want to see on a busy travel day like the Sunday after Thanksgiving. If you're staying home, decorating tomorrow, it's going to be a nice day to do it. A little bit warmer than today. 33 at 8 a.m. by noon, 48, 52 for the high tomorrow. So at least we make it out of the 40s tomorrow. Today we never did. And then by 6 o'clock, right around dinner time, we will be in the mid 60s tomorrow evening. Keep in mind there's going to be a wind chill. So our low temperatures in the mornings will be pretty chilly out there. But when you look at the wind chills could even be in the teens by Tuesday morning. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, each morning it'll feel like the upper teens to lower 20s. For tonight, you need to bundle up. 28 in Durham, 27 in Roxborough, as well as Lewisburg and Rocky Mount, 29 for the low in Raleigh. The low is a little bit higher than it was last night, and that's because of the cloud cover that's headed our way. 26 in Smithfield and Sanford, 27 degrees in Fayetteville. Now, to put this into perspective, it's not that cold compared to the records, though. Our record low is 11. That was set back in 1976, so at least we aren't down in the teens or or low teens just yet, but we're starting to feel festive. And because of that, of course, we're going to be lighting up our towers. Rocky Mount, 34 degrees right now there at the tower, 41 at the Lucky Strike Tower in Durham, and Raleigh 41 here on Western Boulevard. As we light up the towers at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, here's a closer look at the numbers. 43 in Raleigh, 42 in Durham, and 41 degrees in Rocky Mount. It'll be partly cloudy and dry all around. The weather looks pretty good for the WRAL tower lightings. You can tune in to our special on TV starting at 7 o'clock. It is always so much fun. The 7-day forecast is a cold one, though. Check out these numbers. 40s and 50s for highs. 20s and 30s for lows for the foreseeable future. Even as we try to warm up next Thursday near 60, we've got another push of cold air that arrives by the end of the week into next weekend. Not much in the opportunity for rain or moisture with this round of cold air. Just keep the jackets handy.
Yeah, and that Monday temperature for the bus stop is going to be cold. Bundle up. All right, thanks, Kat. Let's go to Pat Welter. Pat Welter is live at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill tonight. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Julie, no, it hasn't been the greatest football season around here, but this game rarely disappoints. UNC trying to send Mac Brown off right after he got fired earlier this week. Plus, another thriller from Duke, how they survived at Wake. Next. Surreal scene here pregame. Mac Brown all smiles with NC State's Dave Doran, despite the news this will be Mac's final home game after getting fired earlier this week. Brown was getting greeted by hugs from all over before this one. Pat Welter coming to you live here from Kenan Memorial Stadium, and more on that UNC-NC State game, which is in progress here behind me. But first, another thriller from Duke. The Blue Devils have beat both UNC and NC State, and they were trying to complete the in-state sweep here at Wake Forest.
Couple turnovers saw Duke get down 17-3 in this one, but strangely, that's when Manny Diaz said his team started to relax. Late third quarter, Star Thomas scores from 3 yards out to cut the lead to 17-10. Fourth quarter now, Malik Murphy said he's no Lamar Jackson postgame, but he can score from in close. We are tied. Final seconds, Duke just looking for 5 yards to set up a field goal. How's the whole thing? Unspoken communication between Jordan Moore and Malik Murphy wins the game and seals a 9-win season, 23-17 the final.
See the ball in the air and then see number 8 underneath it. It's like the perfect exclamation point to our season. Who else would it be other than Jordan Moore? So for him to make that play, to get us to 9 wins, like I said, just an unbelievable way to finish what has really been quite an unbelievable season for us.
I could tell that the corner was like looking at Malik, and then when Malik made eye contact with me, I just decided to take it down the field. But I think that's a testament to our chemistry and, having trust in him to be able to make that kind of play.
All right, now to the nightcap. Of course, NC State, one of the reasons UNC is looking for a new coach. They've won the last 3 in this matchup, but then again, the seat getting pretty hot for Dave Doran right now, too. Let's take a look at the first half highlight. Senior day for the Tar Heels. This group trying to send their coach off right, but in the first half, Jacoby Criswell's struggles from BC continue. He's stripped by Davin Van, and it's the Wolfpack football. Pass interference penalty would set up Hollywood Smothers from the 1, and it was 7-0 NC State. But mid-second quarter, the UNC offense finally gets something going. Criswell finds J.J. Jones wearing his best friend Tylee Kraft's jersey for the touchdown. Extra point was no good. It was a 7-6 game at the half, and currently 23-20 UNC in the fourth. All right, let's get to a little home-and-home action for the Canes playing at Florida after a 6-3 loss yesterday afternoon. Scoreless game in the second period when Aaron Ekblad would beat Spencer Martin. They'd had another at the buzzer of the second period, and it is currently 3-0 Panthers right now in the third. And this UNC-NC State game, if you're watching, Me, maybe you're not super interested in it. You're probably glued on your TV, but I'll tell you what, it's starting to really open up right now. Amarion Hampton with a 75-yard touchdown in the third quarter. Chris Culliver with a 50-yard touchdown pass and reception from Jacoby Criswell. So this game really living up to the hype. It is currently 23-20 UNC right now in the fourth quarter. So I got to get back to it. Luis Fernandez and I will have you covered tonight at 10 and 11. Julian, back to you in the studio.
Yeah, I know a lot of people very emotional say goodbye to Mack Brown. Thank you, Pat. We'll see you later, and we'll see you later as well. Thanks for joining us tonight. Be safe out there. Have a good evening.